Joining us right now is former Navy SEAL and Great America PAC spokesperson Carl Higbie. Carl, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What's your take on those comments?
So the issue is we're seeing the people who are actually on the ground experiencing this war, you know, the guys who have fought the war, coming out and having a very different narrative than what the Clinton campaign and the generals that are endorsing Clinton, like Allen and Colin Powell, are saying now. The issue is we don't know how big this problem is. We know it's in over 30 countries. We know it's expanding, but they're not geographically bound. So the fight is very hard when you can't even name the enemy.
That's a good point. But what, Carl, would Trump do different? You know, you've had a lot of experience overseas in this part of the world, and thank you for your service. So if he's critical of what President Obama is doing now, what is he going to do differently in Iraq to stem the tide of ISIS? The
issue is we got to stop fighting this like diplomats. I mean, if you want to be diplomatic, go send the diplomats over there and let them do their thing. If you want to win a war, you send the U.S. soldier. I mean, we have won every single war, and I watch a lot of documentaries, and when we stopped winning wars is when, look in Vietnam, when we started having media influence over the way we fought the war. We have to fight the war to win, and unfortunately, you know, war is disgusting and it's hell and it's bad, but at the end of the day, we have to do those things in order to win because our enemy's doing it too.
So what should be the strategy to really take Mosul at this point? We know it's going to take time. We know this is going to be a lot harder than people expected.
Right. So Mosul right now is a critical part of the infrastructure because of the dam, because of a lot of other buildups that we've put there when we were there in Iraq. But what we need to do now is we need to target these people and target the areas they're in. Look, if you're in an ISIS-controlled area right now, I'm sorry, you're not part of the solution because they would have either killed you or you would have left already.
Go ahead, Bob.
So, Carl, again, thank you for your duty and two tours of service, right? So you know firsthand what it's going to take to win this thing. Your perception of the two candidates, tell us about your view on Trump. A lot of controversy about how he would, to the points that we've been discussing. How do you think he's going to approach this with the generals going forward?
So I think for one, and one of the biggest complaints of our generals now is that they're not listening. President Obama's not listening to them. So I think Trump will listen to the generals. I mean, he said, look, we need to listen to our generals because these are the people that are there, that are understanding it. You have the guy who just landed there yesterday said, wow, this is a lot bigger problem. Additionally, we need to do things that might not be politically popular at the time, but long-term will protect American citizens, and I think Trump will do that. Hillary Clinton had the chance to do this stuff over 8 years as our chief diplomat. She didn't do any of it.
Yeah, we did that. Desert Storm, freedom. I mean, we know how to do it. It's just a matter of having the conviction. Am I right going forward?
You're absolutely right. I mean, look, when we first invaded Iraq, we took over the world's 5th largest army in less time than it takes you to pick up your dry cleaning.
Yes.
I mean, in 4 days. So, I mean, we can do it. We just got to be able to, you know, want to and have the will.
This scandal roiling the Pentagon, the outrage after the Defense Department tried clawing back re-enlistment bonuses from soldiers. These soldiers fought on the front lines in Iraq and Afghanistan. Defense Secretary Ash Carter addressed the issue yesterday. I want to get your reaction to what he had to say. Listen to this.
Anybody who volunteers to serve in the Armed Forces of the United States deserves our gratitude and respect, period. I'm aware of the specific issue that you're speaking of. It's got its complexities to it, and we are going to look into it and resolve it.
What do you make of that, Carl?
Well, I mean, this is ridiculous. These soldiers signed a contract with the U.S. government, and it doesn't matter if the U.S. government had the authority in that position or not. It's not the soldier's fault to do this. When I re-enlisted, I got a bonus. Guess what I did with it? I paid off debt, and I put a down payment on my house. And I didn't have the cash laying around. These guys, I mean, look, the average soldier, when you come out of boot camp, you're making $800–900 a month.
They're living paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're looking $400 to $500 per paycheck every 2 weeks for some of these entry-level soldiers. I mean, obviously, you get more than that when you get down the road. But at the end of the day, these people don't have a ton of money. Why isn't the person at fault paying us back? Why isn't President Obama coming out right now saying, with a stroke of a pen, I'm fixing this? And Congress put a single-issue bill on the table right now to fix this problem.
They don't care about the veterans.
Exactly.
I mean, look how the VA's run. Look at how the VA system is run and the problems that still exist despite everything that's come out of the woodwork about the treatment of the veterans. Do they just simply not care? And I seriously mean that.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't act that way if you gave a damn.
Right. And the thing is, look, Hillary Clinton can fumble $6 billion and lose it while she's Secretary of State, but we can't cover a few $1 million in bonuses for the people that we signed a contract with.
Not to mention,
You're right. Where is President Obama putting an end to this right now?
100%. This is disgusting. And this shows right now where this president, where this administration, where the, you know, God forbid if Hillary Clinton wins, where that administration will go. Nobody's trying to do anything for the veterans right now.
This never should have even surfaced. It should have been shut down, you know, at the first hint of it by the administration.
Yeah.
Carl, on the Iran piece, if Trump wins in 13 days, as Maria pointed out, as we know that Boeing is looking to sell U.S. airliners into Iran, highly controversial with the Congress and the people like Mr. Trump who oppose the deal. Would he allow these deals of American Boeing aircrafts to go forward into Iran if he wins the presidency? No,
I don't believe he will. And the problem is that, look at the scrutiny that Trump got when he considered looking, not even doing, considered looking at business in Cuba. He was like squashed by it. The government was like, no. And then he got hammered over it over the thing. He didn't even do it. Now, Hillary Clinton and the Barack Obama administration, they want to give Boeing aircraft to Iran Air, or whatever they call it, which has notably been seized and used for military purposes. I mean, we know what's going to happen here. We gave them $150 billion already. I don't know what this administration is thinking. Why are they so pro-Iran? I would just lock anybody out from America from doing business with Iran.
Look at this story. Iran to add U.S.-made aircraft to its war fleet.
Yeah.
Obama administration paves the way for Tehran to build its air force.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. And we are selling it directly to Iran Air, which in the past, they've commandeered jets from Iran Air and turned them into military things because there's not a clear division of state and private assets in Iran. Sure. So we can pretty much say unequivocally that this is going to go there. Why are we helping them? Like, how does this help America? This is the problem with our leaders, and this is what people are voting against. Help America first. I don't care about Iran.
It's extraordinary. So what about this new political ad, retired General John Allen backing Hillary Clinton, saying that she has what it takes to keep us safe? Listen to this.
When someone makes the comment that they know more about the Islamic State or ISIL than do the generals, it implies a complete ignorance of the reality. But I believe Secretary Clinton really understands the threat that the Islamic State poses to the United States and to the American people. And I believe she understands how to wield American power to ultimately defeat this threat and to keep us safe.
This coming, of course, as former Secretary of State Colin Powell formally throws his support behind Hillary Clinton. So what do you make of these endorsements? What are they seeing that you don't see? Colin Powell, John Allen, getting behind Clinton?
That's a really good question. What are they seeing? Because, look, these are, I mean, first off, respect for his service. But this general and his thinking, this is the reason we're losing the global war on terrorism, because they think that Hillary Clinton has the answers. She clearly doesn't. It hasn't worked. Let's go with a guy who actually supports the troops. Let's go with a guy who's willing to do what may not be politically popular, but will ultimately keep America safe. We have done nothing to forward the progress in Iraq and Afghanistan since the pullout. And this guy is endorsing Hillary Clinton, wants to do more of the same thing. I just think it's disgusting.
See, part of the issue is President Obama had his own plan and his own narrative. He wasn't listening to the generals.
Right.
Look at the WikiLeaks emails from yesterday, Maria. It talks about how the Bush administration asked the Obama administration as they were coming in to be a part of the Iraq SOFA status of forces agreements discussions, and the Obama administration incoming said, no thanks, you guys figure it out.
Yeah, and this is indicative of a lot of the generals up there made rank before there was a war, so they don't understand the dynamics necessarily of fighting. Like I said, respect for their service. Generals, good and bad, they don't understand the ground force agreement. And I've always said, you need to put an E6 or an E7, an enlisted guy coming right back from the battlefield theater, and put him right next to the Joint Chief of Staff and said, you better listen to this enlisted guy because he's going to write your fit rep at the end of your 6 months.
Or enlisted girl.
Or girl, yeah, sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.